Gaynor, would you like to ask your question?
Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
Hi. So my eyes did close, I have to be honest, quite a bit. That sounds like don't close my eyes, don't close my eyes.
It is very relaxing on the body though, isn't it?
I'll have to listen back, but
yeah, it's some matchsticks next time, yeah.
I've been thinking a little bit more about, I've been thinking about what am I and what's all this really, what is reality, and solid things seeming solid, because I thought the other day, I've heard you talk about it a lot of times about things, only being solid for our human senses, but then I think I've not really sunk in, and so I wondered if you could just go through that again a little bit more, just so I can just sink in a little bit further, because I just heard you, I think I've heard you say it lots of times, but then I don't know, I really heard it the other day, and I was like, oh yeah.
It never hurts to hear it again, does it? Because it's so contrary to what we're taught, that everything that seems solid is actually made of this moment, this now moment, sort of vibrating, condensed down into something that appears and feels solid. How can this chair that I'm sitting on be made of this insubstantial, formless moment? Like, if that's true, why how can I sit on this chair? But it's when it begins to vibrate, the moment itself is completely still, isn't it? It's not doing anything at all, and it is vibration begins to happen. It's just continuous, and some of those vibrations become really, really high. So we might call those gases, and it's when they begin to slow down, we'll call them liquid. And then when the vibration is really much slower, it appears as a solid, but only solid relative to another solid object. If you didn't have any physical senses, would you know if anything was solid? If you didn't have a body, would you know if anything was solid, liquid, or gas? It takes a whole new dimension then, doesn't it? After you recognize, but only when I've got a body can I say that this chair is solid and this air that I'm breathing in is not solid. Suddenly those categories become applicable then, don't they? The whole world of changing states and everything. But anything that even is a solid, even at room temperature, if you give it enough energy, it will become, it'll change state. Just like if you cool down the air in this room enough, it'll become liquid. You'll have to really slow down the vibration, but it'll become liquid. Even the nitrogen in this air, they actually use liquid nitrogen to cool things down, to keep them cold at really low temperatures. So solid is more, it's given an absolute nature in our consciousness, in our vocabulary, isn't it? Things are solid and that's that. But I learned very quickly as a scientist, nothing is really only solid, a liquid or a gas. And solid in compared, how do we define solid? Well, really, it's the fact that we can't put our hand through it like we can the air. So once we seemingly have a solid body, this whole category of solid or tangible or intangible becomes irrelevant then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. I think the thing that puzzles me sometimes when I listen to you talk about it is about not having a human, but if we didn't have the body.
But at night time, in deep sleep at night time, when you're not using any of your body at all, right? In the dream state, there's some activity going on here, isn't there? There's objects in there, seemingly solid objects. But are they really solid? They seem real in your dream, right? You even, if you run and jump off a cliff in a dream at night time, you might even feel fear in the stomach because you're sure you're going to hit the solid ground at the bottom. Is it really solid? You know, so just kind of really extending that question into the waking state, which is given the supreme reality, isn't it? The waking state is seen as much more real than the dream state, and even more, that's more real than the deep sleep. But is that really the ultimate reality, you know?
Okay.
It's enough to be interested in this as you are, and to say, you know, tell me again, just to listen to it again. And when it becomes familiar, suddenly it'll become obviously true. Not through any working it out up here. Like, all of this phenomenal world is gone in deep sleep. You don't even know you have a body then, do you? Not aware of time and space, not aware of any sense perception. All of it has gone.
Yeah.
But the potential for imagining objects is still there. The seed for it is still there. That's why when the waking state comes back, we feel that we're back, and the world is there. You know, we don't ever question where did it go when I was asleep, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I just need to, like you said, just listen again and again, and starting to kind of, because today I was kind of thinking, well, what is solid anyway? You know, well, I've asked that question, what's solid, but I was thinking, what is solid anyway? And it's just a word, and it's the meaning that we give to that word, and so I have been contemplating that, so that'll help.
That's good.
That deeper.
It's good to hear it again, because it goes. It's not our normal way of thinking as a human being. So very good.